I'm sitting in the office of somebody I've known for 40 years. We went to high school together. Our wives are best friends. We play golf together on weekends. Right now, he's the guy behind some of the most talked about restaurant builds happening on Las Olas. His name is Mike Lombardi. His company is Lombardi Development. And what he's building next, you're going to want to hear this. Mike, I have to start here. When we're sitting in class together, did either of us see this coming?
Definitely not.
I mean, we could have been in jail.
And the 40-year mention makes us really sound, you're aging us for sure. 40 years is a long time.
Because I'll be honest, I didn't have luxury restaurant developer on my bingo card for you. When did you know this is what you were going to do?
I grew up in construction in and around it. My father was a builder, so it sort of got sucked into the field.
40 years later, we're still here, still playing golf, still in the same fantasy league after 27 years, still going out with the boys every few months and still giving each other a hard time. On the record, let's talk about what you're actually building because it's legitimately exciting. So most people watching have probably heard about Catch and Cut on Las Olas. It's become a scene. You built that. Walk me through what that project was. What did you walk into and what did you have to solve?
So to answer your question about Catch and Cut, that particular restaurant, a lot went into it. We were lucky enough to build that location twice for a client that we built several things for. They're very prominent in the South Florida area. They're seasoned operators and great clientele. And we renovated an existing restaurant that we built the first time to add certain elements and change the finishes and made it an upscale steakhouse that's on the eastern end of Las Olas that came out fantastic and somewhere that we enjoy going with friends, with you guys, just last weekend.
I was there last weekend too.
There you go. In addition to a lot of other areas in the air, and a lot of other restaurants in the area that we're lucky enough to build, and some other product as well. I mean, we do industrial, we do retail, we do office space, new construction, or tenant improvement.
I see the Lombardi development signs everywhere, so kudos to that.
Thank you. We're trying.
Circling back to like the restaurant builds, they're like their own animal, and everybody sees the finished product and they walk in, the music's playing and the hostesses and everything, and it's just an amazing vibe, and then it just appears. What does it actually take?
It takes a tremendous amount of coordination between all of the suppliers, the vendors, the architects, the designers, the owners. It's just a lot of communication. It's a very collaborative experience that you need everybody sort of on point to make sure that you get all the information that you need. There's a lot of coordination with the finishes, making sure that things that you're getting overseas are here on time, things that are local are here on time. It's a tremendous amount of coordination. Outside of just the permitting alone.
Now you're about to break ground on the Caviar Club. What can you tell us about that?
So Caviar Club is a new build that just recently broke ground. We officially got the permit and we started a little while ago, which is great news. It's going to open this year, and it is an upscale restaurant in the middle of Las Olas, right in the heart of Las Olas. Will be very exciting, something unique and different for Fort Lauderdale. Haven't quite seen the whole menu yet, but it's going to be very exciting.
That name alone sets an expectation. What's the pressure like when you're building something at that positioning, where the brand promise is kind of like already built into the name before you've even poured a single slab?
So that particular build, the level of finishes is very high. The expectation is up here, and we need to deliver above that, or at least to that. It's a lot of coordination, and it's a lot of hard work to make sure that it all happens. The ownership brought in a great team. Part of it is from New York City. So the designer and the architect is out of New York City. They're used to doing some very high-end restaurants. We're happy to be a part of the team. We're excited to deliver it, but the expectations are there in just naming it, and then the delivery of it has to meet or exceed that.
Let's pull it back a little on that part. Like, you're on the commercial side, I'm on the residential luxury side. We're both kind of watching the same South Florida story from different angles. What do you see where you sit from right now? Or is it kind of like appetites here and there and just kind of very specific?
I think it's pretty deliberate. I would say more specific than just, everybody's just throwing paint at a canvas, right? For us, there's some clients that, we have restaurant clients and we have clients in different arenas. We have a particular client that does a lot of purchasing of commercial shopping centers and will reface the center. So he'll buy centers that are existing as opposed to building brand new, because to buy the land, to find the land, to go through the process of the entitlements, to go through the process of the permitting, it's a much longer timeline and it's much more expensive to build brand new. So he'll go in and purchase existing centers and we renovate and remodel the existing center, the whole facade. That's a very deliberate move that specifically a particular client does. And then we have restaurant clients that particularly like to go into existing restaurants because you can save money by building second generation spaces, building brand new space. And same thing on retail. If you can take advantage of certain things that are already in place and you don't have to put in all the mechanical systems, you don't have to put in the AC, you don't have to put in electric. So there's ways to save some money and be deliberate with how you spend it. So we see some of that. And then, we also see some new stuff. But to answer your question, there's definitely things happening. They're deliberate, but they're smart in the way they approach it.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of
A little bit of a long answer.
it's a little bit different because with the rates where they are,
Right.
What ends up happening is you see more people being less willing to remodify, and they'd rather just have the finished product knowing I'm going to pay this and I'm going to mortgage at this rate. I don't want to have to kind of acknowledge that this is the mortgage rate that I'm going to have and then go and pull money out of my pocket to continue. I'd rather just be all in on a newer product. So new products are actually selling at a quicker pace than stuff that needs to be highly renovated.
That makes sense. Plus, they don't have to go through the process of actually remodeling and going through that pain if you don't get the right guy. But they don't necessarily want to go through the remodeling process. They'd rather have brand new.
What's the biggest misconception that clients walk in with when they want to build something like that you built?
I think they all have an idea of how long the construction side takes and what's involved in the construction side, because a lot of them have had prior experience, whether it's on the commercial side or maybe one of your residential clients. So they know that there's a process in the construction and that takes a while. But what some of them don't realize or know and especially on the commercial side, it takes a tremendous amount of time to get the permits. It's sometimes a process that takes longer to get the permit than it does for an actual build. But I think that's a surprise. So yes, to set the expectation early is important because you don't want somebody thinking that they're going to start in 30 days or 60 days when they're not going to start for 4 or 5 months. That's possible. And we don't control, getting the, we help with the permit process, but we can't issue the permit.
Right. What do you think is driving the moment for Las Olas right now? Are you sensing that?
I am. I think people are just starting to realize how fantastic it is and the opportunities that are in not just Broward County, but Fort Lauderdale specifically, just because of our location, our proximity to the beach. It's a great downtown now area that 10 years ago, 5 years ago,
I think you stole my bike a couple days ago to drive to the beach.
I've done that several times actually. I have. I didn't really technically break in.
He had the code, but still, it is stressful.
So it's definitely an area that I feel like people are just realizing it's such a gem and a great place to live and work and vacation. It's just a great spot.
Just looking at the finished product is that you actually care about the work, the craft. This isn't just square footage and invoices for you. Where does that come from for you?
We do care about what we deliver. We care about our clients, most importantly, because without them and without their referrals and without their repeat business and without them saying good things, to other people and word of mouth, it's difficult for us to continue to succeed.
Same
We have the same thing,
Yeah.
right? We're in the same boat.
Reputation is everything.
Of course, that's a huge part of making sure that we do our best to deliver what they want and what what we're trying to give to them. And then on top of that, just being around my father, who was a very hard worker and instilled in me a good work ethic that I feel like is paramount in any business. You just got to do the best you can. You got to give 110% always, and the outcome will usually be there.
So when you're not on the job site or closing a deal, we're obviously going out, breaking bread, out with the wives on the golf course. How else do you decompress? I mean, because this job, yours and mine, they don't lack stress. They don't lack phone calls 24/7. How do you unwind? How do you reset so that you can continue the day-to-day?
So my short answer is just spending as much time with family as possible. I'm lucky enough to have all 3 of my kids in the area. They're all in Florida still, 2 of which are nearby and live nearby. So just spending family time with friends on the weekends, just trying to decompress and not focus on the stressful part of what we do.
This is exactly why I wanted to do this one here, right in Mike's office, where deals actually get made, because the people building South Florida aren't faceless LLCs. There are guys like Mike, who I've known since we're teenagers, who put their name on everything. Mike, where can people find you or Lombardi Development if they want to connect?
Our website is lombardidev.com, and our social media is the same thing, at LombardiDev on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn. So
We're
come
just,
visit, come like us.
40 years in, still having fun, still playing golf, still building things we're talking about. Mike, Lombardi Development, you are the man. This was great. Thank you for the interview.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.